everybody. I'm so glad you're here with me today for reading. I know I've been gone and I hope you guys missed me, and I do apologize for being gone for so long. Like I said, if you watch my videos, had many jobs, gone all day, and I didn't have a lot of time to devote to my astrology, but that's really my passion, and it has been for a long time, and like I said before, I've taken the studies quite seriously over the last year. So I made some room, and I definitely have free time now to be able to do what it is that I love. And with that said, I was able to get my website up. I did put up a quick video about it yesterday. I'm going to put up another one. I think I had it public and you guys can see it, but the website, if you need any type of advice or guidance or anything like that, you can purchase one of the services on my website. And the website will be constantly changing. It's brand new. It's just up. So there are some different things that we're going to be adding, and or that I'm going to be adding. And these are just general announcements, guys, because it's been a while. There's some different things I'm going to be adding, lots of different services, and some really kind of different things. I know there are a lot of tarot readers on here, so I really was spending some time, since I didn't have time to come on and do the readings, I was really spending some time thinking about, just how to make my channel unique, how to make what I offer unique, and how to tailor it to what, I really do well. So please check the website, guys. It is Astro Tarot C, and that's C as in the ocean, the sea, because I am a water sign, so it would be Astro Tarot C instead of SEE, .weebly.com. So that's ASTROTAROTSEA dot WEEBLY.com. And there you can just click on the links. And it's going to be some more information coming up. It's pretty basic now, but there's going to be some different things because if you watch my videos, like I've been saying, I'm really passionate about the astrology as well as the tarot. So I've been studying that more, and I'm going to be bringing in aspects of astrology a lot more than you guys have seen. And I wanted to do it for this introduction and for this video, but maybe I'll do it in the introduction for another sign, and I'll just kind of mix up who gets the astro introduction this month and who doesn't. And I'm sorry I have to do it that way, but I don't have my notes or my phone right now to show me some of the planetary placements. I mean, I know you guys been hearing about this Earth trine or whatever that's going on, so there's going to be a lot of planets in the Earth signs right now. So that would be your Taurus, your Virgo, and your Capricorn. And I think from the last time I looked that a lot of planets were in Taurus because the sun is in Taurus right now and we're moving out of Taurus. But the moon was also in Taurus, and I want to say, no, I want to say Venus is in Taurus. That's what I want to say. So knowing what the planetary placements are and the energy it brings, and then comparing that, like I like to do the transiting horoscopes where you compare the planets now to the ones in your birth chart. So the ones now will be the transit planets. So as I bring that stuff, guys, definitely check the website because there's going to be a lot of information, a lot of free information, a lot of educational information. As I learn, I definitely want to pass it on to you guys because it's all about building a better life and seeing a better you to make it through this treacherous life. And speaking of treacherous life, that brings me to the Girl Talk series. The Girls Talk series will be back. Like I said, I'm just having time to do this reading. So I definitely was not able to do the Girls Talk series. But we are looking very forward to getting back to the Girls Talk. And I think one of the topics that I know I was discussing with one of the ladies was kids, just raising kids in today's day and age and world. And specifically like men. So that was one of the topics we were entertaining talking about, and so we'll definitely have some things for you guys, and I want to do current events on here and everything like that. So we'll bring you current events and just what's going on right now. So that's Girl Talk, that Astro Chicks, the Girls Talk show. That is the website. astrotarotc, C is in the ocean, .weebly.com. And oh, last announcement is more tarot readings, more tarot readings, more tarot readings. I've been, buying different cards. I have a few decks. I have 3 decks, I believe. I just bought a 4th deck. But I have 3 decks, and and I'm sorry if I'm talking loud. I just want to make sure my camera picks up the sound. So I have 3 decks, and a 4th because I just bought it, but I only use really the Rider-Waite, and I used to use the Soul Journey messages, but I just purchased the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck. So what I'm going to do is I'll be switching up my readings until I find what really works for me. Because of my time constraints before, the 3 card really did work, and I think you guys did get good information out of that. But of course, we're going to do some bigger spreads. We're going to do some Celtic crosses now that I'm able to do that. And with every reading, no matter what spread it's going to be, I'm going to do 3 Psychic Tarot cards for the heart, because I really feel like they do speak to emotional ties, commitments, relationships, and things that touch you here. And that doesn't always mean it's a relationship or a romantic partnership, but things that go on with our coworkers, with our families, with our siblings, our parents, and extended families and friends. They do touch us on a heart level, on an emotional level. So I'll be doing 3 of those cards. Today, we're going to break it down. I'm not going to do the Celtic cross today, but I will break these down into signs. So I'm going to take it 1 sign at a time, and then I think I'm still going to do a general energy like I used to do the 3 card spread in one video for all of the elements to tie it all together. But we're going to do a 3 card spread. It's actually going to be 4 cards because the bottom of the deck card, I use it, and it's really for whatever it's for. I don't know, whatever message that comes out, whether it's the overall message, because traditionally the 3 cards are past, present, future. That's how I set out to read them, but whatever comes out in the reading is the message I'm going to give. And then the 4th card is kind of like an overall theme or vibe, but we'll see how it plays into the rest of the reading, if it ties it together, or if it's just, if it's another, it's just another piece of information as far as the reading goes. Hey Gemini, how are you? How are you? Welcome to Frequency Real Radio, Astro Tarot C, for your weekly reading, and this is going to just close out the month of May. So this is going to close out the month of May into June 1st. I hope you guys can see the cards and everything very clearly. I won't be able to check the tape until I'm done this reading. So hopefully you can see the cards. Anything you missed, anything that I have coming, like the website, the Astro Tarot C, that's ASTROTAROT SEA.weebly, WEEBLY.com, and the Girls Talk Show and all of those things. That's going to be in the intro. You should have already heard that. And now let's jump right into Gemini's reading. I want to say happy birthday to all of the Geminis. I'm going to try to kick all of my readings for the rest of the signs out, and I have like 10 to go after you, Gemini, to make sure I get them out before tomorrow or by tomorrow, so you guys know what to look for coming in the end of May. So I'm just asking Spirit to give me some energy for all of the Geminis out there. Geminis, Sun, Moon, Rising, or if you have Gemini really, really strong in your chart, but mainly Sun, Moon, and Rising. A few cards dropping out, but unless it's really something that speaks to me, I usually don't take a lot of fallout. Sometimes I do. But this one for Gem, let's just see what we get. I mean, I see some cards that are talking. I mean, they're talking. Come on, bring some good stuff for Geminis. I know some Geminis have been going through a lot of things similar to some of the issues that Cancer's been going through and some of the other signs. So some changes, some karmic situations. So I'm feeling like Gemini is just about ready. I'm going to give it maybe a few more shuffles, and then I'm going to cut the cards and we can get started with Gemini. Gemini, if I have additional messages, I'll post a video on my astrotarotc.weebly.com website, and it'll say Gemini Extended YouTube Reading. And if you want to purchase the Gemini Extended Reading, just go to that site. So if you notice that this video may cut off um, and it doesn't look like it came to a close. Like I said, buying all of that, it probably has an extended part, and it went on for a long time. That's going to be on YouTube. But if I close it out, most likely I won't do an extended unless I get some messages afterwards. Because a lot of times I do get messages after I finish the readings of how I could have interpreted the cards, or um, or what else it could have meant. Because again, guys, these are really general readings, so they're for everybody. And I try to keep it very broad and say many different situations, many different sides of the coin. Everything I say is not going to pertain to you if it pertains to you at all, because this is covering a lot of different energies that watch the videos. If you want something that pertains to you and you only, you would want to go to my website or hit me up through YouTube or at my email, which I usually list in my description for something more personal and one-on-one. I've always been the advice lady, whether I was doing tarot or not. So let's go ahead, Gemini, and start it. We're going to do a 4-card spread, past, present, future, or just whatever we get when the spread comes out, bottom of the deck, overall energy. And then I'm going to do the Psychic Tarot for the Heart cards by John Holland. So Oracle deck. And I do really like these cards. So that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. All right. First card out is Page of Wands in reverse. Middle card is the High Priestess. The last card is the Five of Swords, right side up. And then I was going to pull another one, but let's do bottom of the deck is the Page of Pentacles. So let's do this. All right, Gemini, air signs. I do see some swords in the cards. Gemini, you got a little bit, almost a little bit of everything. Gemini, I feel like from the past, I mean, the energies, the planetary energies, and that's why I say that astrology is so important to tie into and make the connections with the with the tarot, because it really explains why some of the scenarios come out in the tarot and why we see some of the cards that we do when we're looking at the tarot. So you got the Page of Wands as the past energy, and you got the Page of Wands in reverse. The Page of Wands, pages are messengers. This is an action-orientated messenger on a journey, on a travel. Very well-dressed, fire energy page. A rambunctious page who is ready to go and to see and to conquer, but with this energy in reverse. And I feel like even though that's a fire energy, let me just say, air signs have fire within them. And I mean, even if the chart isn't strong, to me, air signs are very active signs. When we talk about the wand energy, which is represents the fire element, the Leos, the Sagittariuses, and the who's the other fire? Who is it? My Leo, my Sagittarius. How could I forget what my other fire? Oh, Aries. How could I forget Aries? Anyway, so those are your bold, your active, your go, your action-oriented, take life by the helm kind of signs. But if you have any air signs in your life, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and of course, not every single one, depending on what's in your chart and what your chart is, what you're made up of. But a lot of the air signs to me have a lot of fire in them, and it's probably why they go good, because of the traditionally, they say that a lot of the air signs pair well with the fire signs. And, most combinations, give or take a few. And I think it's because the elements on the surface do complement each other. And I think that a lot of the air signs have some fire energy, because a lot of air signs I know are go, moving around, action-oriented. Even though they are always operating from a mental place, they are a mental sign. It's what drives their thoughts and the way they approach situations in the world. They're very action-oriented, and I feel like for Gemini, the card is saying you haven't been action-oriented like you're used to. You haven't been moving around and traveling around and maybe as stately as you used to be. So maybe not having some of the things you used to have, not doing some of the things that you used to do, not looking at the journey so wondrous, looking at the journey ahead of you more negatively than in wonderment, like he is on this card. And this card, it's a joy and it's a wonder to see what is coming. And I feel like this page is going to go at what is coming with optimism, with curiosity. But I feel like that usual energy, I feel like that's your energy. Geminis, for some of you Geminis, I feel like that is your energy feeling turned upside down. A lot of my Geminis have been through some things, and you're not go go go. You're not as social as you used to be. You are not wanting to do. You are not feeling like the same person you used to feel like. And if it's not you, of course it could be just an idiot that you have in your life. You know, just a negative fire energy sort of person, bringing in negative messages, just bringing you down. Really, somebody just kind of. I just get a sense of working your nerve. And if this isn't coming from an outsider, younger fire sort of energy, it doesn't have to be their sign. They don't have to be that sign. It could be somewhere else in their chart or just their energy. And I just feel like they aren't really doing you any good in your life right now. They aren't helping you and they aren't hurting you. I feel like it's some immaturity and even possibly some negative messages to keep you stifled and maybe keep you in the place you are. So Gemini, that's going on, and you could be that person. You could be that pessimist in your own head, you know, like the voice of the devil sitting on your shoulder. So Gemini, that's an energy that came out in the past card, and the goal is to try to move away from that. And in order to move away from that, you know, come into the number 2 card, the High Priestess. 2 represents balance, decisions, indecision, scales, weighing things, you know, looking at, seeing 2 sides of an issue, seeing the light and the dark, seeing, you know, knowing, you know, on one hand, there's going to be things that are false, one hand, there's going to be things, you know, there's one side of the story here, one side of the story here, in the middle somewhere lies the truth. You know, 2s are all about balance and decisions and things like that. And I feel like, you know, feeling like this or having people in your life like this, but I really felt like this was primarily an energy Gemini feeling. Feeling like that and having people in your life like that is going to lead you to really have to do some soul searching. I think you need to dig deeper, Gemini, because the 2, that's the 2 that's coming out in a present situation. The 2 is the High Priestess card. She is the card. She has a connection to the physical world and the spiritual world. You know, she has the Torah here, so she has the books of wisdom, the books of knowledge to the Creator. She sits in front of the gateway to the other side. So she is the all-knowing. She does have the knowledge, and she did come out in the right side up. She didn't come out in reverse. So she did come up, you know, straight up. So, you know, it's either saying to me that Geminis need to take a minute and dig deeper for the real meaning to life, to your life, and to whatever is going to make Gemini happy, and whatever is going to turn Gemini back into a thinking and active person to move on where you need to move on to. Also, this card could also mean that Gemini is holding some sort of information, some sort of secretive things, and I think it could possibly be hurtful things. I don't know if I want to call them negative or I want to call them completely bad, but Gemini being a mental sign, so I think that High Priestess could represent Gemini in this reading, because Gemini being a mental sign, Gemini is very consumed with data, very consumed with data, and when I say data, it's knowing. And it's not to say Gemini is a gossip or anything like that, which they can be, but who isn't? You know what I mean? But Gemini has the knowledge, Gemini has the data. So Gemini, you may have some knowledge or some data about something or somebody that you're holding on to, and you're trying to say, okay, well, should I share this? Should I say this? Should I make this known? Is this something, you know? And I would just say, Gemini, because the high priestess came out in the upright, she is a high priestess. It is a righteous card in the upright. She is a righteous priestess in the upright. It didn't come out reverse side telling me maybe sneaky or nasty or hurtful or devious. It is a right side up card. So if you wanted my opinion, I would always say to do the righteous thing, especially when you have the high priestess coming out in the upright, because leading to the future, what's going to happen if whatever's kind of going on, whatever this antagonism is, this bullshit, this somewhat petty, but it's getting on your nerves just enough not to be petty situation is, if you don't play it straight up from the righteous point of view and be the bigger person, you're gonna have a false win. It's not gonna be a real victory. It's gonna come back. The situation is gonna come back to bite you on your ass. It's gonna come back again to make you look like the fool, because you have the Five of Swords straight up. And first of all, it's like the communication. To me, what I get, and then it's like some water in the background, like a sea. And the guy has the Three Swords, two are on the ground, the opponents are walking away. Did they give up or did they quit? Did they quit on their own? Did he force them to forfeit? Whatever the situation was, they're still allowed to come back another day. So those problems, those thoughts, those communications, those two swords laying on the ground are still going to revive themselves to come and trouble your mind, stab you in the back, or trouble you again in the future, as are those enemies. And what I get when I look at these enemies, and I don't mean enemies like it has to be a physical enemy. These could be enemies as in negative thoughts, negative behaviors. This does not have to be a physical enemy outside of the Gemini. I mean, Gemini, you're twins. Maybe you need to check the twin. So in any case, and when I look at the card, it's like shit just got lost at sea. With the swords, I think about that arguments, like communications and arguments. It's arguments back and forth with you and maybe two other people, you and these other people, and it just doesn't get solved. And in the end, you end up feeling like, how, like when you play a game and maybe it's a game you're gonna play Hangman, or you're gonna play a Scrabble, or you're gonna play something where you can play cards where you have to play several games. You kind of keep score as you go, and it's like as you have these arguments, you give yourself a tick. You end up with the most ticks, and you feel like you won, but you didn't win anything. It is a vain victory. It's a victory of a battle, a minor battle at that. It wasn't even serious enough for you to put the swords in their bag. The victory in a minor battle, but that's not even close to winning the war. So Gemini, you do have to endure on. You do have to struggle on. You are a communication sign. So I don't believe that if you put your best to it, then anybody can outsmart you with these communications or these trickeries. And if this is you doing it to somebody else, I would say just get your act right, because this does not indicate a win for you. Energies could always change. I'm just telling you what I see right now. So that's what it is, Gemini. And what I see about this spread is, with you knowing, thinking, or having a knowledge of whatever that you do, it doesn't have to be as big of a deal as you let it be, by not righteously controlling the situation. And then over top of all of this, the bottom of the deck, I had the Page of Pentacles. So this may have something to do with money. Beautiful card, beautiful yellow card. And it's because it's on the bottom of the deck, kind of meaning the whole reading rests on this. It's the underlying theme of the whole reading. It may have something to do with money. So if there's some secretive things where maybe you're going through some money issues, some money's not moving, something going on, you did some things with some money, and maybe you feel like you want something, or you got something, or you came up on something, just be careful with it. Because here you have the Page of Pentacles. I mean, Pentacles, like I said, they are messages. He's a young page. It's a beautiful card. And pages are stable signs. Pages are your earth signs. So your Tauruses, your Capricorns, and your Virgos. Maybe you have a young Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo that's in your life helping you out right now, because whatever this situation was, I feel like it has to do with money. Money is the overall unseen. You're waiting for messages having to do with money and security and stability. Maybe you got roped up with some younger person to work on some money things, something like that. Or there's a younger person who a lot of your money is going towards, or this is going to take a lot of money, or it could be a person that is bringing stability or offering something more lucrative into your life. That could go different ways for whatever Gemini I'm talking to, depending on your situation. Because the Page of Pentacles card, it gave me, of course, that beautiful yellow card to underline a reading. It gave me a better connotation on the reading, saying maybe it more so has to do with money stuff. But Gemini, I don't know how you handle these situations, and I don't know if this is just to tell us it has to do with money, or that, someone young with this energy could be coming in when it comes to your money and stability, or if it's just saying this situation here where it's no action, is not moving, and you try to get, you knew something, did something, was holding on to something, weren't quite telling, maybe you had a little plan under your sleeve, or you made some moves, and you feel like you had a gain that may in the future seem like a loss, and it has to do with money. So that's what that card could overall be telling us, is that it has to do with the money. Or, like I said, another way to interpret that card is help coming in with the money. Maybe all of this is a situation where you went through in there, you weren't taking any action, you didn't have, you couldn't get to where you wanted to be, you couldn't make those moves to climb up the ladder, you couldn't make those journeys and those things that you needed to do to be progressive to get to where you wanted to get to, with that Page of Wands being in reverse. But then, some knowledge, some enlightenment came to you that you were holding on to, and you had to use that to your advantage to kind of fight your way through whatever job situation you're in right now. I don't feel like this reading has anything to do with love. I really feel like this has to do with either your career or friendships, and it could have to do with family. So you use whatever knowledge that was, to kind of get through that situation and get yourself through whatever that little squabble that you were going through had to do with. And either now something's going to come in that has to do with your money and stability, and it's going to be a positive message of money and stability. Or there's some energies, and like I said, that could relate to a younger energy, a younger Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, Earth sign energy. If you have any younger people in your life, or maybe messages coming from some younger people in regards to your money, or some things that went on with the career or the family relationships, and this trickery and the little secret. If something has an air of a secret, a sort of a, not a secrecy, because I don't want to say secrecy like it's a bad thing, because I'm not saying it's a bad, but just there was some information that you had that maybe you had to kind of get into a little argument or a little battle with someone over, that had to do with this money, or this younger energy, or this message that came in from this younger energy, or the message that came in, period, about this money, about this ability, about this opportunity. But whatever it is, you got to still keep pursuing, still keep pushing and fighting, because whatever struggle, communication struggle that you're going through, back and forth with these messages of loss and gain, and loss and gain, messages of loss and trying to get messages of gain, and fight your way through to get to where you need to be to. Keep fighting, Gemini. You're not quite there, so keep fighting. You will get there. Just do it from a good place. No underhanded, tricky stuff is, I think, the overall point of what I'm trying to say, Gemini, when it comes to this reading. So, like I said, if you want something a little, if that spoke to you and it made any sense, and you want something a little bit more personal, my website will be listed in the description, and it will be on the intro, so you guys can contact me that way if you just need a little bit more, Gemini. And I have to move on to the other signs. I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep this spread sitting here. A lot of times I'll keep the spread there, and if additional messages come to me, they just come. I really won't even be necessarily thinking about tarot, and something will pop in my head to say, oh, this too. I'll put those on the website. So if you need additional messages, check the website. I think I had that priced at like $5 or less for the YouTube extended readings. And guys, don't hesitate to hit me up. You know, as I have more time to work on my site, I want to make sure I get a lot of free information and things like that up. And because I remember when I was coming up, I mean, I've been just studying a lot of information that has to do with just conscious and spirituality since my 20s. You know, I am, you know, close to the 30 or close to the 30 and over club, if not in it. So, you know, I've been studying that stuff for a long time. And back when I used to reach out to healers or spiritual practice people and want to get their services, I'm like, wow, this is a great conscious community. But then when you reach out to somebody, they want like a good million for a birth chart or a reading or for some health advice. And I'm like, well, dang, how are we poor folk supposed to get the information? Because you think you go to the mainstream and those will be the prices, but then you go to people in the conscious community and it's like really, really high, and it's like, who can afford that? You know. So I'm looking forward. I want to put up a lot of informational stuff on my website, a lot of free information articles and articles in my blog. And so I'm going to be doing that. But in the meantime, the easiest thing to get up there, and of course, what would allow me to sustain myself and continue to do readings instead of working 3-4 jobs that have nothing to do with what I love to do, is for you guys to purchase readings and do those things. And I'll probably put a donate button on my page. The more money I get from you guys, the less I have to work in corporate America. All right. Now, after those broadcasted messages, let's get to the psychic cards for the heart, the oracle cards. And these are going to probably pertain more to love. If they don't at all, then I'm not going to push them to. If they, you know, I'm going to tie them into what's on the card. I have no plans for these readings. However they're going to flow, whatever I get when these cards come out is what it's going to be, is what I'm going to tell you. Guys, don't hesitate to leave feedback in my comments. I appreciate it all. All right, Gemini, I think your oracle cards are just about ready for the heart. And that's why I said I'll try to read these as love because they're for the heart. But I can't read them as love if they don't come off as love. If they come off as that, I'll read them as that. So we're going to do 3 and then the one on the bottom, which is the 4th. And maybe the heart cards are the cards that I'll start putting in the extended reading. So the first card is embrace. Present card is lead. Oh, the future card is nurture. And then it's going to give you another one. I keep doing it and end up reading 5 cards. The last card is manifest. And I swear to God, Gemini, every card that came out in your heart, your heart oracle cards, they really do read into, it's powerful. It reads into your original reading. And I think it tells me more about finding the strength to be who you want to be the best person that you can be, and letting that show to the world. And I really think that's going to solve a lot of the issues, a lot of the things that you're going through, and it's going to get people straight with how to view you, how to respect you, because you're going to show them. And if you embody that, then you're not going to give anybody an opportunity to get you wrong. And it's so funny because what's really funny is none of these cards have come out in any reading that I've done so far with them. Not that I've done a lot of readings with these heart oracle cards, because I just bought this deck maybe like a week or two, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So I've probably done 10 or less readings with them. And the cards that come out speak to you. They don't speak to a partner to me. They don't speak to necessarily, you know, kids, and they speak to identifying what it is, the identifying what's within you, and identifying finding the wherewithal to identify what it is inside of you that you need to utilize, pull out, embrace, and nurture to be that wonderful person that Geminis are. So the card that I got in the past was embrace. And how we talked about with the Page of Wands, just not being a Gemini that you're used to being. To me, this card speaks the embrace card speaks directly to that, because you have to embrace. A lot of times, like when they say, no, if you're insecure about your body, if you can just go naked, like bare your clothes, there's a certain freedom that it gives you when you can accept your flaws just the same way you accept your good parts. When you can let people see you doing bad the same way they see you doing good. You have to embrace that, because nobody is going to be a, you know the picture of perfection all the time. It's just not possible. And if we deny that within ourselves, and we don't see the shadow side of ourselves, we don't see what led to the negative situations, we don't see the parts we played, then we're bound to repeat those lessons in those phases of life over again. So Gemini, embrace where you've been in the past. It's neither good nor bad. If you were still living and you woke up today, it is neither good nor bad. It is another opportunity to live the best life that you can live. Which brings us to lead in the present, which is the number 4. 4 represents stability. When you're coming from the number 3, 3 is an unstable number. Imagine if you're building a foundation, you had the 2 blocks that you set a certain way. When you add the 3rd, it creates instability. You add the 4th, it creates stability. So 4 is moving into something more stable, but that's coming from the 2, from the high priestess, with using that knowledge that you had, using that inside knowledge that you have. Maybe there's one face that you have to certain people, another to another. And sometimes that's the way we have to work in that world. But what you have to do is use this knowledge to lead. Because a high priestess is definitely a leader. And a lot of times that's why I'm a Cancer sign. And a lot of times in my readings, if I pick a significator card or something like that, I'll pick the high priestess, or I feel like the high priestess, the high priestess comes out in a lot of readings, whether I do or my other people do, to represent me, and there's a definite connection I have. But a lot of times, I pick the high priestess because, and I completely forgot what I was going to say on that, but I picked the high priestess because even though on the surface feel and on the surface symbolism of the card is she's a quiet priestess. She knows it all, but she isn't one who's going to shout it from the hilltops or lay down the law like the emperor would. You know what I mean? Or like the king of wands, or even the king of swords, or queen of swords. But she rules, and she leads just because she knows, and there's a quiet power. You guys, you watch the leading actors and the leading ladies in the movies, but then there are people who run those movies and really lead those movies, as well as many other industries and things behind the scenes. There are some people who run things by being loud and boisterous and commanding, and there are some people who run things through silence and playing the background. And that's always the impression I get with the high priestess. And it's telling you, and I said that because she is leading you to take that information and to lead. Be, like I told you when I talked about the high priestess card, I said use the information, be who you know you are, pull it from within yourself. Be a leader. Be a leader. Gemini is very trendy. Gemini knows just about everything and everybody, and definitely can get in with the crowd. But Gemini also has the potential to lead as well. And I have seen many Geminis function as leaders. And that's what you need to do right now in this situation. It's not always taking, you can get advice from other people, but at the end of the day, Gemini, you are more than capable with your very analytical mind of figuring out what direction you need to go in and what you need to do to be stable and be happy, because like I said, that foundation was a stability. So the things had to do with money and stability and things like that. And I know that means a lot to my Gemini. And then that leads us to the future card, which is nurture. Take care of yourself. Take care of those things around you, Gemini, from an inside perspective. I know my Geminis are very spiffy. Geminis dress very nice. Geminis are very, particular about their look and their style, but this is not an outside nurture, Gemini. This is an inner nurture. When you look at the card, she's looked like she's just been in the garden, communicating with spirit all day, basking in the glow of the sun, and it's healing her soul. And that's what it means by nurture. When you nurture yourself, it isn't necessarily about going shopping or getting any hair done or anything like that. Nurture your soul from the inside out, Gemini. Whatever that is, you got to find whether that's your spiritual. I don't know if you're in religion. I don't know if you're into spiritual. Find something that's going to nurture your soul, not your skin or your hair or your feet or your body per se. You know what I mean? I'm not getting these at one of the times, because sometimes you do get the times in the cards, like if you get the hangman, you get certain, not the hangman, but the hermit, certain things, or the rest card, the four swords. You might say, oh, you just need to rest. Maybe you just need to really take a time out, take a breather, get a massage. But no, I feel like this is inner nurturing, because what you're gonna understand and what you're gonna see is it's going to lead you to the number one. And it's so funny, your cards went from 21 to 4 to 3 to 1. It's getting back to the self, Gemini. It's not about going out into this world and understanding anything else about anybody else until you totally and completely get an understanding of yourself and a love for yourself in your pocket, Gemini. Because from what I see right now at this moment, and especially with things revolving around money, you don't have it. And if you nurture, if you embrace where you've been, what you've been through, and who you really are, no facades, not the image you show the outside world and want the outside world to see. You go within and you bring out that spiritual and that righteous path that is within the Gemini. Many Geminis I know are religious and spiritual. And then you nurture that seed. You water that seed. You water that seed so that it can grow. And that you really can say, you know, I'm doing this work and I'm loving me, and I'm giving myself the best from the inside out, from a spiritual level on out to a body level. Then you're going to manifest anything you've ever dreamed and anything you've ever wanted, Gemini. But it's up to you. It's up to you. Nobody else. And you are capable of it all, no matter how hard it is, or no matter how easy it is. You know, I hate to say who says it's going to be hard, but we all know you don't get anything in life worth having without a struggle. And Gemini, you know, I'm thirsty. I'm talked out. I don't have my water. Not sure how long this went on. Want to make sure I got all of this on video. I thank you guys for joining me. I started with Taurus because when I started my readings, we were in Taurus's birthday month. And this is awesome because I'm doing Gemini now. Now we're in Gemini's birthday month, so happy Earth Day, Gemini. This is my gift to you. You get your reading pretty early in your birthday month. And come check me out. Check me out at astrotarotc.weebly.com and come back and check me out. We're gonna have the Girls Talk show and the you know, the website and all the other announcements and the weekly reading. So you got to come back next week for your reading. This is gonna take you through June the 1st. Deuces. Love you guys.